everybody, Coach Jared here. So for the first part in the power series, we're going to be discussing the kettlebell swing. So we're going to first start off going through the common mistakes often seen with the swing. And before I get into that, I want to speak to you about center of mass. So what center of mass means basically is anytime you're performing power movements, you want to try to keep that weight as close to your body as possible. It's an explosive, tight movement. So as we go out throughout these common mistakes, we're going to be discussing that center of mass more in depth. So for that first common mistake I often seen is the start and the end of the movement. So oftentimes I'll see people just pick up the kettlebell and then start swaying their hips back and forth to get the momentum going. And then to end it, they'll just abruptly stop. So you actually want to start with the kettlebell, that movement, 6 inches in front of you on the ground, in line with the middle of your body. You're going to be hinging down, grabbing the top of that kettlebell, and then hike it through your legs, kind of like a center in football. Hike it through your legs and get that momentum going. And then to end the movement, you want to slow down your arms, not abruptly stopping, and bringing it right back down to that starting position, 6 inches in front of your body. So for that next common mistake I often see people doing is actually squatting when they do the movement and not hinging. So what happens when you squat, you're putting unwanted pressure on that back, and you're probably using those arms to help get the kettlebell up instead of using those hips like you should be. So what you want to do is really focus on that hinge back and then thrusting your hips coming up, using that power to get that kettlebell up. So again, starting the movement, hinging back, hinging down, getting that movement going and not squatting. And again, when you're doing this hinge, you want to think about a clock. So if your body is straight up, you're at 12 o'clock, your back is completely parallel to the ground, you're at 3 o'clock. So when you hinge down, you want to be about that 2 o'clock position. If you're too upright, you're going to be using those arms and not those hips to get the kettlebell up. If you're too parallel at that 3 o'clock, it's going to throw you off balance. So again, starting the movement, coming up, you want to hinge to about that 2 o'clock position to get that max power from the hips. The next common mistake I see is when the kettlebell is traveling back through your legs, going too low with that kettlebell. Again, that center of mass, you want to try to keep it as close to your body as possible. So when you're bringing that kettlebell back under, you want to try to keep it up as high as possible under and not coming too far down. Again, if you're coming too far down, it's going to put unwanted pressure on that back. Just getting the momentum going. Again, keeping that kettlebell nice and high as possible, coming down through those legs. And then the last mistake I see, which everybody does, is often they keep their arms locked out at the top of the movement. Again, getting back to that center of mass, you want to try to bring that weight as close to your body as possible. So if the weight's all the way out here, again, unwanted pressure on the back and spine, so you want to try to bring that weight closer into your body. So the way to do this is actually, as you come up, you're going to bring those elbows back in, slight bend, keep them tight to your body, and then lock them back down when the kettlebell's traveling back through your legs. So again, starting the movement, hinging, again, keeping those elbows tucked in towards your body, slight bend. It's bringing the weight closer to that center of mass like we discussed. All right, so for the last thing, I'm gonna perform the kettlebell swing, going through all the techniques we just covered. So again, starting with that kettlebell, 6 inches in front of you on the ground, hiking it through your body, hinging down, not squatting, keeping that kettlebell up as high as possible on your way through your legs. And then as you're coming up, keep those elbows tucked in towards your body, slight bend to keep that weight closer to your center of mass. All right, so I know I've hit you with a lot of information today, but the next time you're doing the kettlebell swing, try to implement some of these proper forms and techniques that we just discussed. Keep pushing, and always remember, gotta hustle for that muscle.